بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our dua, our brothers all over the world, His aid and support, and to protect them in Palestine and everywhere else. As we said, it is part of our deen, part of our responsibility to pray for our brothers and sisters everywhere. And we still keep hearing these very sad stories about what they are going through. And a few days ago, one of the reporters, I think, he lost 5 or 6 people from his family. And under every law in the world, the reporters are normally immune. They are not supposed to be targeted. Any reporter is doing his job by letting the world know what is happening. So targeting those people is, again, not acceptable, cannot be justified. So, subhanAllah, the situation is bad, and we keep praying, inshallah, things will get better soon by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we are praying for those who are not feeling well too. May Allah give us al-jufa, and inshallah, keep us always healthy, our families, and on the straight path. We were talking about, again, those special deeds that can bring us closer to entering Jannah early, inshallah. I think we mentioned 6 of them. Every day we try to give a summary, so we can try to, inshallah, achieve those as much as we can. Of course, the more you can do from those, the bigger your chance, because as we said, we can't guarantee that Allah is going to accept my good deed. All I can do is I try, and I try to make my intention sincere, but there is no guarantee that Allah has accepted my good deed, and that's why we keep trying. We can't say I have done enough. The 10 companions promised Jannah, and Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, as we know, does not speak out of desire. He said in Hijjatul Wada', Abu Bakr fil Jannah, Umar fil Jannah, Uthman fil Jannah, and he named 10 companions. So you might think that the one of those companions, once he hears his name, it's done. Because if the Prophet ﷺ said it, then it's going to happen, inshallah. Then you will say, why do I even do anything from now on? But actually those 10 became even more worried, because the Prophet ﷺ gave us this glad tidings and Allah chose us. We can't let him down, we can't disappoint him. They became even more, they felt more responsible towards worshipping Allah and doing the good deed even more than before. It's not like, they didn't take it easy. The Prophet promised me Jannah, then it's done. They worked even harder after that. This is the mentality and the attitude of the mu'min. So we said the 6 things. Number 1, inshallah, birrul walidain. Number 2, Quran. Number 3, orphans. Number 3, it's not number 3, but that's fine. Forgiveness, forgiving each other. Okay, number 3. Number 4, taking care of the orphans. Number 5, if you have daughters, $3 or 2, or even 1. And number 6, sabr, patience. And yesterday, I think we talked about, we just started the 7th one, Ighathatul Malhoof, help people who are in trouble. And there are so many ahadith, whoever helps his brother out of the trouble of the dunya, Allah will help him out of the trouble of the akhirah. Allahu fi awni al-abd ma kana al-abdu fi awni akhih. Allah is in your deen, helping you, taking care of your needs, as long as you are taking care of the needs of others. We hear stories a lot about people who helped others and how their big reward was. An example will be Salman al-Farisi radiallahu anhu. Salman al-Farisi, we know his story, I'm sure. Just a long story short, he was born in Persia. He was the son of the fire taker, or the Majus. They were all fire worshippers. His father was the priest of the city, and he was his son. He was supposed to inherit his father, but he wasn't convinced. I think when he was supposed to keep that fire lit all the time. So he forgot one time, and the fire, of course, if you don't keep putting wood and stuff, it will die out. So one time he forgot, and he came, and the fire was out. So he thought about it, what kind of God will die if you don't take care of it? So he left and he decided to look for the true God. And long story, he spent years looking for the truth. He went to Sham first, and then he went to Mosul, Iraq, and then he went to different cities looking for the truth until finally he found his way to Medina. But he was kidnapped on the way and he became a slave. Imagine, from the son of the chief of the city to a slave. And they sold him to Medina. A Jewish guy bought him from Medina. But subhanAllah, he took him to Medina, and that's where the Prophet ﷺ was. And that's how we say sometimes Allah guides you by force. He didn't know which way to go. He was sold, and his owner was from Medina. He was looking for the Prophet ﷺ, and Allah took him there by force. Anyway, when he met the Prophet ﷺ, he asked to see his signs, because all the priests and people he met before, they told him it's the time for the last prophet to show up. And they told him about the seal of prophethood on his shoulder and all that. So he saw all the signs, but he was a slave. He cannot just leave his master. So he asked his master, how much do you want to free me? And the master was, of course, is going to take advantage of this. So he said, I want 300 palm trees. And you have to plant it yourself. You can't just go get them, already get him 300. You have to plant it with your hands, 300 palm trees. So he told the Prophet ﷺ, this is someone who is in need. The Prophet ﷺ told the companions, we all are going to help him. Even the Prophet ﷺ himself planted the trees with his own hands. Now normally when you plant, let's say 300 trees, not all of them will come out. Obviously, some of them will not. So the companions with the Prophet ﷺ planted exactly 300, and every single one of them grew and became a beautiful palm tree. This is the barakah of helping each other. And they freed Salman al-Farisi. So this is an example. Another example, one man was in i'tikaf. And you know i'tikaf in Ramadan, that's one of the greatest rituals when you leave the world behind and you come to worship Allah. One man, I believe this happened during the companions' time, but at that time I am not sure of. One man had to pay debt to another person. He took a loan from him and he needed to pay it back. And the deadline arrived and he did not have the money. So the loaner, the one who gave him the money, he said, where's my money? It's the deadline we agreed on. He said, I don't have your money. He said, I'm going to complain about you to the qadi. And if he complains about him, most likely the judge will put him in jail. So the one who is in i'tikaf was a close friend to the loaner. So if he asks him to give him more time, most likely he will. But he was in i'tikaf. So the one who was in trouble, the one who did not have the money, he goes to the man in i'tikaf and tells him, please can you speak to your friend for me? He said, but I'm in i'tikaf, I can't leave the masjid. He said, if you don't do it, next day he will complain about me and I'll be in trouble. So this is an urgent matter, I can't wait. So he broke his i'tikaf. And he went and he spoke to his friend, please give him time, and he agreed. Now, I believe it was a hadith, but I have to double check, was it a hadith or a tabi'i who said this? But he said, you can reward more than doing i'tikaf the whole month, just for doing this one thing that you helped your friend. So sometimes by helping other people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you more reward than other things you might do. So this way, inshallah ta'ala, we try to help each other. Inshallah, and there is somebody I know who wanted to get a Lamborghini. Maybe you can help him with that.
It's not a need.
It's not a need. What if that guy likes Lamborghini so much? You have to be in i'tikaf first, and then I'll ask you to get it for me. الحمد لله رب العالمين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والحمد لله